Thank you, guys. Really tremendous, Rick. Thank you. There is a great Eckhart Tolle book called The Power of Now. And just for a second here, I want to let you guys all know you are not broken. You are not damaged goods. Whatever has happened up until this point in your life is okay. You are here now. You have a heart beating in your chest. God or whatever out there is in the universe is not done with you. There's a great story that Eckhart Tolle wrote in his book. He said that there was a man who every day was sitting on a box and he would ask him for money. And every day he would give him money. And then one day he didn't have any money to give him. And he said, I don't have any money to give you. Have you considered looking in this box? And the man opens the box and he realizes that this box is full of gold. And he'd been sitting on it this whole time. You have your own gold inside of you. Somewhere along the way, we forget that. We start thinking we're not good enough. We're not okay. 100% of my team made over $100,000 that stick with me for 18 months, including my TC. That's 9 people that all made over $100,000. That's not me. I didn't help them. I didn't do that for them. I didn't walk them in the water and make them drink. They did it. I just helped them realize that they were good enough. I just helped them realize that they were good enough. And that's it. Our next speaker is a Navy veteran who has been on House Hunters on HGTV and is ranked in the top 100 nationally by the Wall Street Journal. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sean Work.
Good morning, everybody. What a great turnout, huh? Yeah, we're going to be handing out some one-page flyers here. So if you can share them, we don't have enough for everybody. So she's handing them out right here. If you'll indulge me, I've written a little Academy Award speech. So just for a minute, I want to make sure I hit everybody. It's obviously humbling and a great honor for me to be here today with amongst these icons in the real estate industry. Thanks, Brent and Dave, for putting this event on. A lot goes into the marketing and to the preparation for the event. So kudos to you guys, and then kudos also to the speakers. So give yourself some props. Go ahead, give it up. Okay, for showing up here. Oh yeah, here we go. I know you, everybody who's come here with an open mind, willing to participate, and I promise not to drop too many F-bombs today, so we'll keep it at PG-13. We're going to move super quick. I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you to give yourself a fair assessment. We've got a lot of data to cover in such a short period of time, so please do participate. Everybody take out a piece of paper up front because I'm going to need you to write some stuff down, okay? Here's the bottom line. We are currently in the eye of one of the most unique, interesting, change-induced, technology-dependent times in the real estate industry, one where there is massive separation from those that are making it in the real estate industry and those that are failing. Would you agree? Okay, cool. So we're all here to find opportunities to disrupt the market, and today we're going to be talking about building a lead generation company. So here's what it looks like. This is 30,000 from 30,000 feet, okay? Company A. Some of you may have not heard this before when you got into the real estate industry, but your main goal is to market and prospect every day, right? So we have to separate it. We got to say, what does Company A look like, and what does Company B look like? So Company A, this is where you should be spending 80% of your time. For a 40-hour work week, that's 32 hours, okay? That's a lot. This company is a lead generation, a marketing, and I'm going to add something else in there. It's a persuasion company. The bottom line is if you don't have any sales skills, you're going to fail, okay? We're going to talk about the statistics of failure in the real estate industry in a moment. We're nurturing, we're following up, we're setting appointments, we've defined our lead levers. Everybody know what a lead lever is? It's how you get your business. If I said, how are you going to get your business in 2019? You would respond back, open houses, telephone calls, pop buys, whatever that may be, okay? And ultimately, and this is what Tom, where's Tom at? Tom Daves, there you are in the back. This is what I appreciate about Tom so much. He does research and development. How do you think you stay on top for so many years? You got to be changing based on what's happening with the market, okay? So then we have Company B. This is where most of us as an industry operate in most of the time. And this is customer service. If we're listing homes, we are a retail person. We have something to sell. If we're representing buyers, we are in the service industry. We're negotiating offers, et cetera, repair requests. And this is where management comes from. And if we're talking chicken and the egg, guys, let's get on the egg side first before we're hatching the chickens, okay? Ultimately, the majority of businesses fail because they don't have enough customers. Whether you're a landscaper, whether you've opened up a restaurant, whatever it may be, or a lot of the times people get into our industry from other industries and think, wow, this is going to be easy. And then they realize, damn, I got the same problem. I don't have enough clients or customers, okay? So here's the deal. You are the product. Take yourself to the market. Okay? We used to need brokers to do that for us. We don't need them anymore. We need to facilitate the contracts and make sure that we're compliant. But you guys can take yourself to the market right now with so many platforms of prospecting and marketing. So here we go. I'm going to define the problem. Why should we be focusing on building Company A? Here's the stats, okay? We got 1.3 million realtors in North America. Guess how many homes sold last year? Anybody? Take a guess. Yeah, you're right. 5.1 million. 1.4 million realtors, 5.1 million sales. Crazy, right? We got 43,000 agents doing 25 or more. That's only 3.3% of us. Can you six stand up right here? Front row, please. Do me the honor of standing up. That means out of this room of 200, only this amount of people, come on, only this amount of people are doing more than 25 deals. Is that scary to anybody? If you're in the service industry for real estate agents, meaning are you a lender, you're a title rep, moving company, home warranty, please raise your hand. Okay, y'all, this should scare the shit out of you. Honestly. And by the way, if you're only doing 25 deals in our market, and let's use a $400,000 price point, that means you're making $250,000 a year before everything else, okay? The minimum base, if you'll agree with me, for a professional, and I'm talking doctor, attorney, lawyer, wouldn't you agree is about $250,000? So we've got to be doing, for us to be professionals, we've got to be doing at least 25 deals a year. I'm continuing to define the problem, okay? We have an 87% mortality rate for realtors, not death, but death of their business, over the first 4 years. 85% of agents have zero previous sales or I'll call it persuasion skills. Okay, I want you to remember that word in 2019, persuasion. Am I persuasive? We call this sphere of influence is our what? Database. Are you influential over your database? That's crazy. I got a database, they're my sphere of influence. Okay, most of us don't have a dedicated CRM. In fact, we'll talk about it later, but 97% of agents don't have a database. That's crazy. That means everybody else that didn't stand up doesn't have a current database that's being marketed to in a touch program routinely. 80% of agents only go for the close one time. Most of the time because they're fearful of rejection or they just don't know what the hell to say. 48% of agents only do one open house a month. That is crazy. What is your open house plan for 2019? Now would be a good time after you leave here to say, here are the dates that I'm going to do open houses in 2019. Put it on the calendar. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Ultimately, 96% of small startups, as far as brokerages, fail within 10 years. So here's where there's some room for, here's consistency. Agents who do more than 5 hours of prospecting, that's 1 hour a day. Isn't that crazy? Make on average $200,000 a year. As far as conversion is concerned, those agents who do 5 touches versus 3 touches on a new lead have a 40% more, have a 40% conversion rate, higher. And as far as nurturing is concerned, take a look at this. This is a NAR statistic from last year. Only 24% of sellers use their their selling agent to list. I mean, 76% failed. How many of you guys went on a listing appointment last week? Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, when you're pulling up that previous listing and you look at, don't you always look, who the hell sold them that house? Why aren't they calling them? Well, the stats say it. We're not doing a great job as an industry in following up. So while you're digesting that, oh, where's my clicker here? Let's talk, have we defined the industry problem? Yes, okay, so let's get personal. Take out that piece of paper, let's start answering some questions. Right now, in December 2018, where's my clock, by the way? Okay, I got 20 minutes left, lucky for you guys. That's a joke, it's okay to laugh. Okay, are you focused on building company A or B? Write it down. Write it down. What have you been focused on, not only in this year, but in December? Number 2, what is your daily goal? Have you defined it? Number 3, what does your current pipeline look like? And grade it from 1 to 10. Don't worry, it gets better from here. Okay? Number 4, how many hours over the past months were spent working on Company A, and how many hours have you prospected? Number 5, I'm moving quick because I don't have a lot of time. How many face-to-face appointments with your database or referral partner? Anybody know what the number of listing referrals that went out last year according to NAR? Meaning, if I listed my house, where did I find my agent? You know what that percentage is? 51%. You know how many reused their agent? 23%. You know how many were new houses? 16%. By rough calculation, that leaves a pretty small number for all the other ways that we prospect, market, or lead generate. Would you agree? Say yes. Okay, great. So the reason I'm pointing that out is we need to be hounding on the face-to-face appointments. Referrals is where it's at. Number 6, how many touches went out last week? Meaning how many postcards, how many social media posts, how many doors did you knock, how many outbound phone calls, how many lunches with your database, how many touches did you send out? You see, y'all, you have to have a number every day to have a predictable business. I know every day I'm going to go to work and 100 touches are going to go out between my 3 lead levers. And 100 touches is going to equal X amount of contacts. We've been fooled by the industry saying, contacts is a lead. Hell no, it's not a lead. It's not a lead until they tell you, yeah, I want to buy or sell within the next 6 months. Zillow leads are not leads, they're contacts. It's your job to nurture them. How many listing or buyer's appointments did you go on last week? And is that enough? And ultimately, how many contracts written or listings signed? So have we defined the industry problem, and by looking at these numbers for yourself, is there room for opportunity? Always, right? Always. So here we go. Webster's Dictionary defines a CEO. They oversee the operation of the company or organization. They're responsible for coordinating effective marketing, financial, cultural, legal strategies to maximize value and revenue. I want to ask you the question, would you hire yourself back in 2018? And if not, today's the day. It's beautiful. We can change, okay? So let's talk about the workflow a little bit. Here's what it looks like. We saw before from 30,000 feet. This is close up. This is what it looks like every day for you. I'm spending 80% of my time sending out touches, nurturing contacts, converting them to leads through my persuasion, through my sales activities, through my skills, through my follow-up, and I'm setting appointments. Now, these people, these appointments, transfer into your company B when you've signed an agreement with them. Company B, listing, buyer contracts, closings, revenue for profit, okay? What do you notice about these 2 different companies? Raise your hand if you know what the disc profile is. Okay, I'm going to talk later about getting uncomfortable. The bottom line is if you're a DI, dude, you got to spend some time in this company building out your systems or writing them down. And if you're a SC, you got to spend some time in here working on your people skills. you got to get uncomfortable, okay? Because if you're not getting uncomfortable, you're not changing. The bottom line is one is a sales skills and building relationship company, and the other is an organization, management, and experience-based company, okay? We all good with that? Here's some more stats for you. I don't know why I'm throwing these out. 97% of all stats are made out on site, by the way. But this is important. Listen up, 77% of salespeople rely on their company for leads. 77% of salespeople, in general, not just in our industry, rely on their company for leads. So, is your company giving you leads? Are they, okay. Are they giving you the tool? If not, then the follow-up question is, are they giving you the tools to go and get leads? Okay. Then it's important that you recognize why you're not using them. And if they're not giving you leads and they're not giving you the tools, why the hell are you there? Okay, this is for all industry, not just real estate, right? Okay, so here's the bottom line. I want to open up a seafood restaurant. You said, I want to get into the real estate industry. This is my seafood restaurant. But before I can open up a seafood restaurant and be successful routinely, I've got to go build a commercial fishing company. Make sense? Okay, you guys getting the concept? Okay, cool. Moving right along. So here's a good illustration. Now, some of you may think, oh man, fail is a big word, but we've just talked about it. We've got an 87% mortality rate for real estate agents in the first 4 years. Only 3.3% of agents are doing more than 25 deals, which is the baseline minimum for professional. And 77% of salespeople are relying on their company to give them leads. It's time for you to start building your sales and prospecting and persuasion company. All right, so everybody take a deep breath. We have walked through the valley of the shadow of death. And now we're going to praise Reg. Everybody know who Reg is? He's the real estate god, of course. Reg. Nobody's ever heard of Reg before? Okay, I guess not. All right, so we're going to go to what I call Solution City, which looks like, we already talked about. If we're not making enough daily contacts in our industry, it's simple, we fail, okay? So here's the 5 elements of company A, succeeding, success, strategy. Mindset, knowledge, overcoming fear, organization, habits. Ultimately, I asked you earlier what your daily goal was. Remember that? So I think it's question 3. What is your daily prospecting goal so that you can build a robust pipeline that throws up on you? Right, Rich? Throws up on you. So, solution. Let's talk about it. Number 1, mindset. I think I'm going to finish on time, which is pretty impressive, I might say. So, we're going to talk about the difference. You've got the handout, hopefully by now, but it's amateur versus professional salesperson. I'm going to dive into that in a minute. The bottom line is, when I'm prospecting, when I have a full pipeline, when I'm lead generating, when I have appointments, guess what happens? Who's in control? I am. If we use that fishing vessel analogy, it's the same thing, guys. I come to work every day. I boot up my computer. I'm getting in that fishing vessel. The engine's on. I'm taking my boat out to sea. I'm at the office. And then I get there, and guess what? I'm out to sea, and I don't throw any lines out. I don't throw any fishing lines or nets or whatever it may be. Dynamite. I don't care. If I don't throw lines out every day, my restaurant business is going to fail because I'm not bringing in the bait. When I'm prospecting, I'm in control. When I say I'm going to have the best week ever, I'm setting myself up mentally for it. I'm talking about and I'm also going to talk about information a minute, okay? Action versus information. Information, if it was just about information, and Rick talked a little bit about it, if it was just about information, I could give an alcoholic a pamphlet, they wouldn't drink anymore. I could give somebody with a struggling marriage a book on how to save their marriage, it would be saved. It's not about information. Get rid of that. You guys are here for the knowledge. You guys are here to take action. So when you leave here today, like the immediate thing that you should do is go back to your calendar and schedule about 6 hours. When I was in the Navy, we used to have safety stand-downs. Y'all might need a safety stand-down to say, hey, let's stop this and let's get back on the right path. Action versus information. Okay. Operating within comfort. Here's what I wrote down. Weakness is not the opposite of courage, but comfort is. Okay? If you're comfortable, if you're not stretching yourself, if you're operating within that disc assessment personality, you're setting yourself up for failure and you're setting yourself up short. Okay? All right, let's move on. So, I'm not going to go over all these with you. You guys have the worksheet here, and you can fill it out later. But the bottom line is, an amateur salesperson, they're rolling the dice every day. They're doing things when they feel like it. They're not taking they're not taking advantage of opportunities. They're not confident. There's no time block. There's no routine. They're leaving their day up for probability. They're hoping that the phone rings. They haven't done their homework. By the way, if you haven't done your homework and you're in coaching, you're not coachable. Get on board with it. Okay? For those of you there in coaching. There's no plan. They're not tracking their results. They have nothing of real value to offer. Marguerite said, where's Marguerite at? She said one of the most amazing things at the event in Las Vegas, which was brand only matters when you have nothing to offer. Remember saying that? Okay. They lack a unique or differentiated perspective, and ultimately these people can't self-generate leads. What we want you to get is to the professional mindset, where you're prospecting, where you're cold calling, even if you don't want to. What I will say is, if you are operating within your disc profiles, and you don't want to start this thing out with being too uncomfortable, do with what feels right. If you're a high D&I, pounding out calls every day is gonna roll you. So do pop-bys instead, okay? You get in front of people, you build relationships. Operate within your disc personality until you can break out of that comfort zone. They're seeking new business at seemingly all times. We have this cool thing called an iPhone these days. Everybody you meet, please, you guys, right now, go Facebook friend me if you haven't. But everybody you meet should be in your phone. You should be LinkedIning them. That's how you start to have influence over people, when you're posting your evidence of successes. Just listed, just sold within 10 days, sold at 110% over market price. Those are your value propositions. Okay? A professional salesperson maps out their plan of attack. They're tracking everything. They're calling people back within a 5-minute window. They understand that somebody's going to buy or sell, and it better be me. Okay? They understand the process. They're okay with rejection, and they take massive action every day. All right? You have that, so take that home with you. So here we go. That's solution 1. Solution 2. Let's jump in. I'm not rolling the dice every day. I'm committed to the 5-5-1-1-1. I'm going to give you this right here. You know we talked about earlier, 1 hour a day. Okay? This is your 1 hour routine every day. I make 5 new contacts. I follow up or nurture 5 leads. I do 1 social media post on LinkedIn, Facebook. I send out a card, a greeting card. I add to my database, and I set an appointment. Today is what, Thursday? All you guys should be thinking, and for my team, I'm writing this pretty hard. Everybody should be thinking, I come to work on Thursday. My goal has to be, who's in my appointment for next Thursday? I come to work on Friday. Who have I set an appointment with for next Friday? Your deal is, just because there's nobody in your calendar doesn't mean you get off of meeting with people. Who would you want to meet with first? A buyer or a seller, because they drive revenue. Who would you meet with next? If you came to work today, you said, hey, I cannot get a buyer or seller appointment for next week. Cool, go to your database. Who can you have lunch with? Next, go to your business or referral partners. Okay? There's somebody who will meet with you. You need to work on understanding it's the schedule. Okay? All right. I'm going to keep burning because I only got 7 more minutes. And I don't want them to play me off like the Academy Awards. All right, so if it's not on my schedule, it doesn't exist. We have theme prospecting days, which looks like, hey, on Monday, I'm going to call my top 25. Those of you who have been in core understand this. Top 25. On Tuesday, I'm going to call my current leads. On Wednesday, I'm going to call my corporate accounts. On Thursday, I'm going to go and door knock. On Friday, I'm going to call FSBOs and expireds. I'm going to call my B2B on Saturday, and I'm going to call my referral partners on Sunday. Whatever that looks like for you, you got to prep. It's so easy to just be like, I think I'll call 2 FSBOs today, 1 expired. I'll hit my database, and it'll be great. That's not the way it works. 4 doesn't go to work today and say, I think I'll make 4 Tauruses, and they're going to be white, and we'll ship them here or there. No. Dude, you come in and you practice your script for half an hour. Here's how I'm going to call my expireds, and then you go to work at it. If you're not practicing, how successful do you think the baseball team that just shows up 5 minutes before it's throw off, and they're not going to be successful. Okay, 7 immediate touches for every lead. If there's one thing that you take away from this, this has got to be it. What could that look like? Immediate call, immediate text. Immediately I Facebook them. Immediately I link them in. Immediately I send an email. Immediately I pop by if they're a seller and drop off a packet. I add them to my CRM so they're getting dedicated now, dripped on. Or I could send them a gift. Those are things that you could do immediately because we all know that it takes 7 times on average for a lead to be touched by us before they even want to talk to us. All right, so we got to be using a lead tracker as well. And then on a daily basis, we're role-playing objections. We have a power hour dedicated in our calendar. We're previewing homes so that we know the market. We'll talk about that in a minute. The opportunity here for you guys, and here's the second thing I want you to leave with today is, who are the 30 people that will change your business in 2019? You don't know them yet. Seriously, you don't know them yet. They're called haven't mets. And you need to spend some time writing down, who the hell do I want to meet next year that will change the course of my business? Is it the top financial planner in town? Is it Brent Gove? Is it the top lender? I don't know who it is. You guys need to define it for yourself. Is it a whale? Is it the HR person at HP? Is it a CEO of X company? I don't know. You need to define it and go out and prospect those people. All right. Here we go. Second part. We talked about it early. 97% of agents have no database or CRM. If you don't have a design for your day, drama will creep in. You got to know the who you're calling, what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, and why you're calling. And it better be you're calling because you're coming from contribution, not because you want something. Okay? We got to minimize the distraction and focus. We got to get calendared. No procrastination, no urgency if it's not in your calendar. You have to identify the 3 pillars of concentration and focus on mastering them. Ultimately, you're in control of your business when you're dedicating time to the prospecting and pillars. What does organization come before goals mean? It means cause and effect. If the effect is, I want to make money, the cause has to be, I got to go on listing appointments. If the effect is, I went to a listing appointment, the cause has to be, I'm prospecting for listing appointments. Okay? Organization, cause and effect. Okay, solution 4, overcoming fear. We got to get uncomfortable ASAP. You got to fail 10 times, 100 times faster because failure is the way that we learn, guys. If you're scared of failure, go get a counselor right now. Failure is okay. You're a kid, you're walking, boom, head hits. Okay, I guess I won't do that again. It's the same thing in this industry. Rejection happens. This is a Tom Ferry deal, but here's what it looks like. 6 moves of rejection. Number 1, I can't handle objections, so I get rejected. That leads to me feeling bad, which leads to me performing bad, which leads to no money, which leads to I can't eat, which leads to I die. Understand this cycle and overcome it, okay? Next. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Are you excited about overcoming objections? You should be, because this means you're getting one step closer to what? The close, the sell, the product, whatever it is. What is your tone, dialect, expression? You should be standing up. You should be boisterous. You shouldn't be saying, I think I'm the right person for the job, or no, I am the right person for the job. Get confident. Tonality, dialect. All right, here's some keys for you as you move into agreements and transition phases. You got to get good at these. You shouldn't be but versus and. Wow, you're really pretty, but. Right? No buts. Get rid of the buts. It's always about and. There's also two others that aren't on here. Stop telling people. When somebody, as a high D, when somebody says, I told you, or let me tell you something, you know what my mind immediately does? Shuts them down. So instead of saying that, say share. Let me share something with you. You'll rarely ever hear me say, for those who know me, let me tell you something. Okay? The next is know versus think. As a sales professional, here's what we know, not here's what we think. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think your house will I think your house will sell in 8. No, I know your house will sell in 30 days because my marketing plan is so robust, it's going to get so much exposure that it will sell. Okay? A couple of the others that are on here. Are we on the same page? After reviewing the comparables, are we on the same page in regards to value? I can appreciate it. I can appreciate that. Can I offer a few more solutions? Or, Barry, do you want to do more business next year?
Absolutely.
What if I could help you with that?
Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Has there ever been a time when, could this time be like last time? Expired listing. Has there ever been a time when you've had a house sit on the market for a long period of time? I got 35 seconds left, so I'm moving right along. Let's move forward and do the right thing. Sign the contract. Let's do the right thing and meet. Okay, I got 3 slides left. Okay, so here we go. If you can handle or know what to say, you will call or visit anybody. If you know how to handle the objections, you will want to call. Because you understand it doesn't make, knowing what to say doesn't make you, knowing what to say makes you the expert, not understanding what to say. How about that? 2 more slides, and I'll be out of here, okay? Just say okay. Okay, cool. All right, so number 5, knowledge. Here's the bottom line. We're using scripts to internalize. We're working on ourselves in 2019, what we're listening to, what we're watching, who we're coaching with. We understand information versus knowledge, and we're striving for knowledge, not just and experience, not just information. Analysis for contribution and longevity. What does this mean? People don't pay you for the information anymore. They can go online and find out everything about a property. They're paying you for your analysis. If you're not committed to understanding the market, how possibly could you give a great analysis to your clients? So let's talk about it for a minute. What's the market doing? And I'm not going to ask the question because we're out of time here and I don't want to cut out anybody else. But basically, here's what rates today. 20-year, 4.63. Long-term average, 8.08. As of January 3rd this year, they were 3.95%. New listings today on the market, 118. Average back on market today, 38. Reductions, 83. Pendings, 165. 159 solds, and 106 were withdrawn or canceled. We got to know those hot sheet numbers every day. Last slide, guys. Here we go. Crushing 2019. You got to get in massive action. This means your face-to-face appointments, your break breads, meaning having a cocktail with people. Breakfast, buy me a cocktail. Having great phone calls, going to networking events, sending out greeting cards. We got to get in massive accountability with the 5-5-1-1-1, 1 hour a day. Theme days for prospecting. Join 2 networking groups of things that you're passionate about. Add to your database every day, including the haven't mets of people that you want to get to meet. Establish a start time and end time. Make that list of 30 influencers that will change your life in 2019 and ultimately implement a business-to-business referral program because that's where most of our business is right now. Even below the age of 37, believe it or not, you would think that those people are internet-based. They're not. They're using the mentors to get referrals. Okay, I want you to know this. You are not a statistic. Go out and crush 2019. If you need absolutely anything from me, call us, email us. We'd be happy to meet with you, help you out, whatever it takes. Okay? We're all here to build the industry, right? Okay, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, brother. Okay, fantastic. One more time for Mr. Sean Work. Who here knows what the DISC assessment is? Who here does not know? If that sounded like Spanish to you, check it out. The DISC profile is important, especially for hiring. Myers-Briggs is better, in my opinion, for understanding yourself. Understand your instrument. Honor your design. He talked about knowing the ways in which you lack. Know the ways in which you lack so that you could hire to accommodate your deficiencies.